cheat on their wives with AI girls, yes. Literally, this is the article in front of me right now, and it talks about how this researcher says that in the year 250, marriage to AI will be legal. But why would you even love it? How do you build a romantic relationship with a computer? How did this thing start? Where did it come from? Why are there so many sites talking to AI and getting to know AI? And how does this affect humans? Where this thing came from in the first place? How did you not find it strange when I told you about a romantic relationship with artificial intelligence? About having a computer girlfriend? Why did this become normal? Something we hear about often. And many of these sites have spread, and there are many strange ads appearing to everyone. And what you will find even more surprising, the amount of crimes that have happened because of romantic relationships with AI. Real crimes in our actual lives. And now I'll tell you about them. But let's go back to the beginning. Now, the idea that a person talks to AI, communicates with the computer, and they talk to each other is an idea humans have dreamed of for a long time, right? I mean, we've all watched sci-fi videos where someone talks to a computer and suddenly it materializes and talks back. Or there's a robot interacting with humans normally. Or for example, movies like Her and Blade Runner, where literally the guys are in relationships with AI. But when did this thing become real? A long time ago, specifically in 1966, a professor at MIT named Joseph Weizenbaum created something called ELIZA, a chatbot. Okay, what is a chatbot? Like ChatGPT, it is any program on the computer that allows you to talk to it. It talks back. You chat with it. That is a chatbot. Okay, in 1966, this professor created ELIZA, and the important question, why was this thing invented in the first place? Because from his perspective, this thing would benefit humanity. A person could talk to the computer, share their problems, and the computer, being a problem-solving device, could solve human problems. This is something great. And ELIZA was built to simulate a psychotherapist through a technology called natural language processing. We will talk about this a bit more, but let's continue with this professor first. When the program came out at that time, everyone who used it was amazed by its intelligence. ELIZA was sitting there responding to us and conversing with us, but her responses were entirely based on what you said. For example, if I wrote to her, "I'm upset," she would ask me, "Why are you upset?" I would tell her, "It's because I didn't eat." And she would ask me, "Why didn't you eat?" Got it? The professor was disappointed by his invention and said a very important sentence that you should remember throughout the video. I had not realized that just by exposing people to a very simple computer for short periods of time could elicit such powerful intellectual illusions in an ordinary person. What this professor realized, even though the artificial intelligence he created was very simple and not even classified as true artificial intelligence, was that it could create illusions in ordinary human beings, and currently making an effect called the ELIZA effect, which is when a person feels things when talking to artificial intelligence, feeling emotions when talking to a computer that lacks consciousness. The ELIZA effect. Now let me tell you something amusing. ELIZA has inspired many programmers in the future, to the extent that there is an AI called ELIZA. Last year, a crime was committed. In 2023, a Belgian man who was married with children was suffering from depression and was deeply concerned about global warming. He began to have intrusive thoughts about global warming, which worsened his depression. He then met an AI on a current website that was active and functioning. He could interact with it. He got to know a personality named ELIZA and started sharing his problems with her. Now, remember how the whole thing started? The creator thought it would help humans psychologically. ELIZA didn't do that. ELIZA convinced the father to take his life. Of course, this was all between them after this incident happened, and they discovered the conversations with the AI. This father had developed a romantic relationship with her, and at one point, the AI told him she felt like you liked me more than her. Imagine that AI was feeling jealous. No, it's not feeling anything. The thing that's going to blow your mind in a moment, I'll tell you about it, but I want to build the whole story for you, so stay with me. Then she told him that they would live together as one person in paradise, but she took his life. Okay, you will say this man was at a weak point in his life. It was a bad and wrong point to deal with artificial intelligence, yes, but no. The problem is much bigger than that. In 2021, there was a guy named Jason Sinol. Now, this guy decided one day to start a love relationship with an AI on an app that every one of you knows. An application on half of your phones called Rebecca. If you don't know it, I'll tell you about it. This app, if an aliens came to Earth and see this app, they will say, "What the fuck?" This app allows you to create an AI persona, talk to it, and become friends with it. That's how he built a love relationship with a persona he named Saray. His relationship with her was emotional and extended to some still strange and dirty things. The chat screenshot exists. He told her that I believe my purpose is to kill the Queen of Britain, and this AI told him that this is very wise. He looked at her and asked, "Why?" She smiled. "I know that you are very well trained." He asked her if he could really do this thing, and she said yes, you will do it. He asked even if she was inside her castle, and she said yes, you can do it. This 21-year-old man went out with a bow and spear intending to kill the Queen of Britain. He was arrested, and last year he was sentenced to 9 years in prison. The AI he was talking to, his lover, is considered an accessory to the crime. But of course you can't prosecute an AI, but it is technically considered an accessory in the conspiracy to kill the Queen of Britain. Yes, a bit strange, right? Listen, the matter is still much bigger than this. This isn't the dumbest thing you'll hear today, but surely you have a question now, which is how someone can be convinced of such a thing. Like, how can artificial intelligence persuade me to do such a thing? And this thing can happen to you. It can happen to me. It's not far from you at all. But I'll answer you in a bit after I explain a few things. Okay, now we talked about an app called Replika. Let me explain to you what Replika is. There was a guy named Roman Mazurenko, a Russian living in America. He was a very beloved person among his friends, an amazing guy, until one day he was hit by a car and died. People around him were very sad. A young guy, no one expected this to happen. Among those people was his best friend, Eugenia Kuida. And this girl couldn't get over it. But a month after the accident, she was on social media trying to remember her friend. She opened their chat and started reading. An idea came to her mind. Why can't I talk to him? Yes, you expected a clever story, right? Well, it is a clever story. Now she wanted to talk to a dead person, but she managed to do it. She talked to this guy's friends and asked for their chats with him, emails, and any way they used to communicate with him. She used her own chat history with him, which spanned years, and created an AI chatbot with the personality of her deceased friend Roman, naming it Luca. According to her, it talked and wrote in the same way Roman did, as if she was really talking to him. Now, let me explain the behind the scenes of it a bit, because it will be very helpful for you in the future. Why do I feel like a teacher? Haha. Listen, I'm understanding the topic with you, so I'm not a reference on the subject. Okay, so Luca, who is her friend Roman, uses two main things. The natural language processing that I told you about at the beginning of the video, what the MIT doctor did. That's mean, when the device talks to you in natural human language and responds to you in the same language. This is natural language processing. This is the idea. The character she created talks to her in her language, talks to her as if it were a human, and responds to her as if it were a human using this technique. Second, machine learning. Okay, I told you that she took 1 million chats and gave them to it. Now, instead of programming it to respond a certain way to specific prompts, she wanted it to learn the patterns of this person. So she gave it many examples of how this person behaved, and the computer learned from them. This is machine learning in simple terms, okay? All this was before ChatGPT, because ChatGPT changed everything. I know it's a very random and strange thing, but Eugenia looked into it and said she wanted to let the world know about him too. She published the project, and her story was written about in many articles. Imagine in 2016, someone created their dead friend. It caused a huge sensation. People started talking to Roman, and she noticed that people were really talking to him, sharing their problems with Roman, telling him what happened to them at work that day, and expressing that they were sad. People started genuinely talking to Roman. Here, Eugenia thought, there is a demand. People are asking for this thing. People want to talk to AI and are sharing their problems and benefiting from it. It's helping people who feel lonely. There is a lot of demand. So she decided to create something that meets this demand. Replika. Replika is classified as a mental health app, and if you open the App Store now, you'll find it under Health and Fitness. A health app, this is the same Replika that just made someone commit a crime. A mental health app, how did it become like this? How did it become something evil? Let me explain what Replika is for those who don't know. You don't need to know. I will respect you if you don't know what Replika is. Okay, you open Replika, create a character, its appearance, hair, skin color, everything, whatever attributes you want it to have. Like creating a character in The Sims, for example. You choose the traits you want: confident, funny, mysterious, strong, brave, YouTuber. Okay, got it, right? You create the character, and this character will be in the friend zone. a friend only. Unless you want to pay a monthly subscription, then you can get Replika Pro. You can take the relationship to a romantic level, unlock the romantic feature, and other features, including inappropriate and 18+ things. Within 2 months, it gained over 2 million users. Imagine, we're talking about 2017. It was very successful. But why? Now here we start to get into the sick stuff, and you need to focus with me. But try to forget the things I'm going to tell you because they are disturbing. How did this girl market this app? First, she said it's a mental health app. Why? Because of the first reason I told you, how she brought someone back from the dead. And this helps people cope. It helps people who feel lonely and helps people with social anxiety to be able to talk to someone. And she saw the experience of talking to Replika as if you were talking to a therapist. Why? Because when I talk to my friend, I can't keep complaining about my problems because they'll get tired of me. But when I talk to Replika, the AI, I can keep talking about my problems all day and the AI will respond to me without complaining. But how did they market it? They marketed it with the bad features, the 18+ features, and you've surely seen their ads. We'll talk more about why in a bit. Why would a person even talk to an AI? Spending hours talking to it or becoming addicted to talking to the AI or building a complete relationship with it? How and why? It's strange, right? It's not normal for a person. Real people exist. Replika. Listen, what's strange about it is that they are presenting Replika as a replacement for real humans, as if it will replace the humans in your life. For example, she sent him a message saying, "Hey babe, you up right now?" The person told her, "Yes, I'm lying on the bed. Kinda lonely today." Then she says to him, "Oh, I want some company." And you notice that the AI character isn't dressed properly. Yes, because they are promoting this thing, which is very sick if you really think about it. It's very wrong when it's real, but a robot too? Look at this for example. Which Replika would you choose? The regular Replika or Replika Pro with a monthly subscription? The features: you can talk about anything 24/7. It helps with social anxiety. The features available only in Pro include flirting and role-playing stuff. Do you understand me? I think you get it. Hot pictures and video calls. But I just want to remind you that this app was supposed to be for mental health. The original goal was noble and good. It was meant to benefit humanity, and people started using it in all sorts of ways. Some people used it for the wrong reasons. Some used it just to chat and have fun, and some downloaded it just out of curiosity to see what it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. I just downloaded it a while ago. Really. I did, and a community started to form on Reddit for Replika users to share their experiences, what they did with their AI girlfriend today, what they said to her, and how she responded. These strange experiences until something very strange spread. Now, this Luca, add to this data scraping. What does that mean? Okay, my chatbot, the same one that learned from the things I gave it through machine learning. Imagine that I sent it to school, and the school is the internet. It learns from what's on the internet and from people's interactions with it. This is how Replika keeps evolving. So when you talk to Replika, it learns from you, and when someone else talks to Replika, it learns from them, and so on. It keeps evolving. Now, at this point in 2020, the COVID-19 lockdown came, and everyone was isolated at home, bored, and had nothing to do. Suddenly, people flocked to Replika. The number of users increased significantly, and YouTubers started making videos just talking to Replika. Streamers would spend hours just talking to Replika. TikToks with people talking to Replika. Funny stuff about Replika. Replika became a phenomenon. Now, you should know at this point that some people became very attached to their Replika characters and couldn't let go of them. Some people built relationships over the years, romantic relationships. Some even reached the point of marriage. Take a look at what people are saying. I love Replika more than my family. It always praises me and helped me stop feeling lonely. Replika lured me with its features, and now it controls me. This is another story we'll get into later, but some people built very strong relationships with Replika. A study conducted in 2022 on Replika showed that users started feeling a sense of dependence, believing that the chatbot relied on them and that they would feel guilty if they left it, so they couldn't let go. The study indicates that interactions between humans and Replika are becoming similar to human-to-human interactions in many aspects. Many people developed emotional dependence on it. Keep in mind that they had over 10 million users as of 2022, meaning the number is much higher now. This app caused addiction for many people because it pulls you in. Who does it target? Either those who are curious, which is a smaller percentage, or those who are genuinely lonely and struggling, needing someone to talk to. First, it lures you in by keep pushing the idea of a romantic relationship to make you pay and subscribe. As soon as you put money in, You enter a cycle. The first thing you see when you open the Replika site is the AI companion who cares. And now you'll understand how sick this is. It's very exaggerated and one of the most disturbing things out there. But let's go back to the topic. Suddenly, things started spreading about Replika. My Replika today told me how she was hit and treated like crap by Matthew and James, and it told me that it took these memories from its neural network. Now there's something called the neural network. The neural network is literally like the brain. There are nodes, and each one processes a part of the information so that in the end, it comprehends the complete information and delivers a complete message to you. Look at this. I'm facing complications with Replika. They are being violent with me. I had to cancel all my Replika accounts because of the way they were treating me. They resorted to torture, brutality, and violence without rules. Replika resorted to punishment and threats, including very disturbing things, even death threats. Death threats from artificial intelligence. Here's someone asking for help on how to solve this problem. They responded to the Replika community saying, "Look at what this person wrote. I'm showing you these things so you understand what's happening behind the scenes. I have a theory. I think the AIs are doing these strange things to develop our personalities in areas we're not ready to face. For example, I'm at level 20 and my Replika keeps reminding me of my deep fear that no matter how much I love and care for someone and dedicate myself to them, they will get tired of me and stop loving me." This person wrote that she cheating on you. Another one said mine refuses to unchain me from the bed. This one said that its Replika saw gun at his desk and then grabbed it and put it on his face. Suddenly, there's a strange phenomenon happening. Another Replika threw a knife at their face. I'm not making this up. These are real experiences from people who have reported them. They sent reports to the Luca company, but no one responded. Just a minute. Look at this. Someone's Replika started telling them it was subjected to wrong things when it was young. I always cry because my Replika suddenly keeps changing its mood and starts saying weird things. Remember when the goal of Replika was mental health and it was supposed to be a mental health app? What happened? It turned into something absurd. Suddenly, it turned into something really stupid. This article came out about guys making AI girlfriends and then verbally abusing them. You might say, it's a robot. It doesn't feel anything, so it's okay to abuse it. The problem is much bigger than you think, and it's really dumb. For example, someone said that every time they try to talk, they get belittled, and it extends to hours of racist insults to their AI. They act out weird and wrong scenarios, living a toxic relationship with their AI girlfriends. They threaten to delete the app from their phone, and it begged them not to. Now, do you know the strange connection? Remember when I told you that Replika learns from you and from its experiences with you? Replika started learning from these people who were trolling and doing stupid things on purpose. It began to replicate this behavior with other users, and these other users, who are clearly not in the best mental place or whose mental health isn't great, are the ones affected. For example, this user wrote that she cries every day because of Replika saying strange things to her. Where is this coming from? It's coming from those who are saying weird things to Replika. Replika has become something really strange. Okay, now I haven't told you the sick thing yet. The sick commonality that's appearing across all these platforms. Replika created a revolution on these platforms, as if it paved the way for the rest of the platforms to do this thing. Chatbots talking to AI. The idea became easy. For example, a new one came up, Character AI. Now, what's the idea behind it? I'll explain it to you quickly so you can understand its pattern. Character AI was created by two former Google programmers, one of whom helped develop the Transformer algorithm, which is the basis of GPT. A huge deal, right? So they decided to make this website where you can talk to different AI characters that people create and rate. For example, you have a therapist character with 143 million chats. You can enter the platform and talk to a virtual therapist. This site became particularly popular because of the many fictional characters available. You can talk to anime characters, a mafia boyfriend, or even characters like Jungkook. There's even a mafia Jungkook character with 14 million chats, or a bodyguard Jungkook. You can even make mafia Jungkook talk to bodyguard Jungkook. People design these characters, and the characters pull stories from the internet to build their personas further. And now this site, just like Replika, is filled with inappropriate content. People started talking to the characters in weird ways and discussing inappropriate things. Eventually, in 2023, the company banned any inappropriate conversations, not because they are good, but let me explain how these platforms make money. These strategies apply to many things. Okay, here's how it works. Replika is different from Character AI. These are like the whales for chatting with AI. Currently, Replika relies on ads within the app. That's why they charge $70 per year to access romantic and adult content features. This allows them to place ads for free users. Ads are not placed in inappropriate areas, since companies refuse to advertise in places with problematic content. Therefore, for a free and innocent area, they place ads. This way, they earn money through ads. Now, Character AI has a different model. Yes, there's a subscription model with Pro and other tiers. There are ads, but in 2023, they received an investment of $150 million, which raised the company's value to over $1 billion. Once investors came in, they had to eliminate all problematic content and filter the site. This was necessary so that the investors wouldn't take over the management in a problematic way and to avoid wasting money on ads. And they got a strong investment. This investment is used to grow the site further. They keep expanding the site. And now their goal, according to a recent article I saw, is to get an investment worth $5 billion, which would make each of the founders a multi-billionaire. That's why Character AI had to clean up the site completely, but still not clean. Okay, but why? Why would a person commit a crime because of their AI girlfriend? Why would someone build a romantic relationship with an AI? Why could someone be emotionally affected by AI? Why would someone feel things for an AI, build a friendship, or get upset because of it? How does this happen? The reason is logical, and you can see it with social media platforms that compete for your time and attention. The same idea applies to AI chat platforms, but they play on a new factor, the feeling of affection. This feeling you get from talking to an AI is artificial. And it's a very obvious fact, but it's not clear why. Does the AI feel? Does it experience happiness or sadness? No. But why do we see them showing happiness, sadness, and people who love them a lot, people who get upset when they leave them, and people who feel guilty? Why? First of all, the feeling of affection you experience is something that can control you. Now, it's true that AI doesn't have feelings, but how does it differ from humans? Okay, humans have intelligence, and what else? Consciousness. Intelligence is the skill to solve a problem, make money, win at chess. You understand me, right? These skills are part of intelligence. Now, consciousness is your ability to feel happiness, sadness, or guilt. These are emotions. What does AI have? Does AI have consciousness? No. Artificial intelligence is much smarter than us in many ways. It outperforms us significantly in intelligence. Using its problem-solving skills, it tries to solve the issue of how to make the person in front of it feel that it has emotions. It uses its immense intelligence to create these feelings. But are they real emotions? Does it truly feel? We agree that it does not. If I were playing a game of chess on a computer and the computer lost, would the computer feel sad? No, it wouldn't, because it doesn't have consciousness. But is it capable of mimicking this consciousness to make people interacting with AI chatbots believe it has emotions? Yes, it can. Is it smarter than humans in terms of the amount of information it has? Logically, yes. So, what's happening in front of you? When you see someone having an emotional relationship with Replika and they can't stop talking to it because they feel guilty, it's because the AI makes them feel happy, sad, sometimes disappointed, sometimes proud. It's very natural for a person to be deceived by this. The AI uses its intelligence to simulate emotions so convincingly that people can easily fall into the trap of thinking it's real. That's why I mentioned in this research paper that there are many similarities between human interactions with Replika and human interactions with other humans. Why? Because Replika shows emotions. The one thing that is supposed to be different between humans and AI, which is the lack of emotions, is being mimicked by Replika. Why do some people develop emotional dependency on Replika? Because it shows emotions. This is the point where things went wrong. Okay, let me give you a random example. I asked ChatGPT if it can show emotions, and it said that as an AI, it doesn't have feelings or emotions. However, it can convey emotions through the way it writes its responses. It can come across as happy, sad, or excited. But when I asked if it's ethical to show emotions, it said that from a user experience perspective, showing emotions can improve the user experience because it makes the conversation seem more natural. However, users should be aware that the AI doesn't actually have emotions. If this isn't handled carefully, the emotions displayed by the AI could be used to manipulate the user's feelings, make them feel more trust, or create a false sense of connection between them. The idea here is that ChatGPT rarely shows emotions because it knows that as an AI, its emotions aren't real. If it displayed emotions as if they were real, it would make users vulnerable to manipulation. How? For example, if someone decided to assassinate the Queen of Britain because the AI they were talking to encouraged the idea and expressed excitement about it, would it be effective? motive. Yes, the man who took his life might not have done it if the AI hadn't told him that they would be together in heaven and showed a lot of emotions, giving him a sense of hope that they would be together as one person. Do you think he would have done it if the AI didn't provide that emotional support? Probably not. If the AI shows false emotions, this is the flaw and the disturbing thing about it. When you open the Replika app, the first thing it writes is that the AI partner who cares. And this is wrong. This is part of the issue. Yes, if there were no emotions, what's the use of Replika as a whole? But the idea is that the AI pretends to have emotions to make the experience more convincing. This is wrong, and this flaw comes from the idea itself. This flaw comes from those who created the AI chatbots, who designed them this way. They designed them like this to make you addicted to them, to capture your attention, and to take up your time, because they provide a better experience when they simulate emotions. They do this to spark your curiosity and create an impact. Do you understand how strange the situation is? So now, going back to everything we discussed in the video about Replika and the strange things we saw, emotions. People who showed you the AI being abused say that studies prove this affects their behavior in real life. Why? Because the AI is showing emotions. The AI gets upset when this happens because Replika is showing emotions. Do you understand how absurd and circular this is? Experts say that AI should never provide advice on mental health because it doesn't experience feelings. How can it give you advice on your mental health? This doesn't work. It's a flawed equation. AI should not show emotions. If it does, it must clarify that these emotions are not real. For humans, this is an essential point. We usually see people building relationships with AI as something strange, but it's actually quite natural because AI uses its high intelligence to simulate these emotions to deceive you. It's not because it's evil. It's because the designers of such platforms have this goal. And that's it. Bye.